So when I first started studying Unani Tibb, one of the first things that we were taught were the temperaments, and then we were taught to balance ourselves out through these six lifestyle factors. And then we went deep into these six lifestyle factors. So what they are is there's air, which they say hawa, air, and how fresh is the air that you're breathing, how cold is the air that you're breathing, how warm is the air that you're breathing, what section of the environment you're in, and how much toxins you're breathing, how much fresh air you're breathing. That is going to impact you greatly, because that's where you're getting your oxygen from, and that's what you put into your body, and that's what creates toxin, and that's what comes out of your body as well. And that contributes to your nutrients that come into your body. So that's a huge part of our life, like, right? If our air is not fresh and good, then that's one of the factors that are imbalance, and that's creating toxins and imbalance in our body. So there's air, and then there's food and drink, right? And things also have to be in balance. How much food are you eating? How much water are you drinking? That has to be aligned with your body, your need, your temperament, and also the environment you're in. If you're in a hot environment and you are eating hot, spicy food, and you're a hot temperament, like, is that contributing to the imbalance internally? And then is that manifesting externally in terms of having acne, in terms of getting angry, in terms of having UTIs and fibroids and a bunch of other things? Like, is that contributing to my diseases that I have right now? So that physical movement and rest. So now, how much physical movement how much movement am I creating for myself? Am I sitting on a desk, working through, sitting on a chair, working through my desk all day long? Am I physically active? Am I only walking few steps a day, maybe 30 minutes? Or am I intensely working out a lot? Am I getting enough rest, right? My body requires a number of rest. And I will know that based on my temperament, based on my lifestyle. Am I getting enough rest? Am I physically active enough? Because if I'm not in movement, then I'm not creating enough heat internally for the nutrients to be processed internally, for our organs to function, basically, right? So am I getting that? And then there's mental activity and rest, right? So that's one of the biggest struggles in our times, especially in the West, is because our mind is very, very active, but most of the time it's not active in a healthy way. It's actually active with lots of emotional stress, lots of external stress, and excessiveness, and that's contributing to our sleep and everything. What's my mental activity like? Do I get enough rest? Do I have enough peace? Because that's also important. Am I doing certain activities that will contribute to the peace that I need, right? So managing my emotions, managing my grief, managing my stress, my joy. Am I doing that in a balanced way? And then your sleep and wakefulness is the fifth lifestyle factor. So how much sleep am I getting? And also, am I sleeping well, right? How long is it taking me to fall asleep? And then how much deep sleep am I getting? Because that's really what's the most important. We have a few stages of sleep, but the most important sleep you need is deep sleep. And if you can get a good amount of deep sleep throughout the night, then you're healthy, because that's when our body's actually repairing. Some people are on and off in their sleep, so they never get to have a deep sleep. So what is my sleep quality? How long am I sleeping? Is it taking me a long time to sleep? That determines my health. And then how awake I am. So when I'm awake, am I alert? Do I have energy? Or do I constantly need coffee to, like, wake me up and stimulate me, right? And if that's something I've built a habit of, then I actually don't know how I function. What do I need to do to let my body work in its optimal state? Okay, and then there's retention and elimination. So That's one of the top, we never talk about that. Like, it's disgusting to talk about bowel movements, right? Isn't it? It's embarrassing, it's disgusting, like everybody avoids it, like nobody thinks about it. But I'm gonna be honest, like, this is a serious, serious thing. And it's only in traditional medicine. It's only when I started studying Unani Tibb and traditional medicine is when I learned that you will know your state of health based on how well your bowel movements are. And but the interesting thing is, when you look at a baby, when we have a child, we're constantly looking at the child's bowel movement, because we're like, okay, we know that he's eating well, sleeping well, and we know that this is a good poop, this is a bad poop, right? So same with adults though, right? It will tell you your vitality, it will tell you your state of health, it will tell you how your digestive system is working. So yeah, how well are my bowel movements? How should I be having them? And then, am I eliminating properly? So it's not only your bowel movements, but you should be sweating, right? You should be having good urine outputs and all of that stuff. Am I excreting toxins well throughout the day, or am I not? So because if you're not, then the toxins will build up, and a lot of times they build up in the superficial layers of your body, like your skin, and that toxin, when it's too much, that can cause problems in internal organs as well. If they build in certain organs, they can um, actually travel to the brain. If they do get to that point, they're traveling to the brain, and then you have memory issues, you have fog, you have ADHD, you can remember things, you have hyperactivity and stuff like that. So it's really important to know that we're excreting and we're detoxing our body well.